I walk and talk with Matchroom. Just want to point out how much you're bricking it about that sign which says do not feed because of the alligators.
Just a little bit.
There are, oh, there's one down there, look. Fuck that.
Is that
You are petrified. There we go.
Yeah, I bet you walk on this side.
No, but a couple of days to go till the fight, announced today. As always, response is going to be mixed. I guess you're just going to have to take that on the chin now, but excited to get back in?
Yeah, definitely.
I know you've been Polak's sparring partners, but I guess there is a huge amount of pressure on this fight as well.
I wouldn't say there's any pressure. I mean, this is what I do. You know, I've done this now 21 times. You know, I've done this now for 8 years. So for me, it's just going in there and doing what I do best. You know, there's no nerves, there's no pressure. It's just me just going out there and enjoying it and doing what I do. There's no pressure on me at all.
Is it important not to force the performance? Like, you know, when you turn pro, I know you're a different kind of fighter then, but you were like trying so hard to impress. Like, have you got to be careful of that in this fight?
No, because it's just what I do now. There's no pressure because I've done it so many times now. And, you know, over the years, I've just got better at my craft and, you know, I've got stronger as I've got older, more confident. You know, and it just mainly experience as well. So I just feel like I'm going to go in there and, you know, hand this guy a beating, you know, and nothing anyone does can do better than me. Nothing anyone, no one can beat me anything.
But I know that when you started your career, you always cared what people thought about you. Like, in your situation now, can you even afford to do that? Or is it just where you got older now, you care less?
No, I think as I've got older, I've just, you know, began to accept the fact that some people are going to love you, some people are going to hate you, you know, it's always going to be mixed. You know, you're a nobody till you got haters. So, you know, I'm obviously doing something right.
But I think when this whole thing happened, which was over a year ago now,
yeah,
one of the things that I feel affected you more than anything was that either people didn't believe you or what people thought about you. Do you not feel that, like, you know, and I've felt it a little bit as well, that in the end, it's not like, oh, fuck it, I don't care anymore. But like you say, you ain't ever going to keep everybody happy. And this part of your journey now, you have to accept you're going to get booed. Yeah? Some people are going to love you, some people are going to hate you. Before, no one was booing you. You were actually the hero going into a Chris Eubank fight. Now, you'd be the villain going into that fight.
No.
What do you reckon?
No, I still think I'll be the hero.
I don't know.
I think I'll be doing the country a favour. No, do you know what? It is what it is. There's nothing I can do. Could I have dealt with situations better? Of course. Could I have done this better? Of course. But it's all part of the journey. And, you know, you're going to go through things in life. You know, some things you regret, some things you could have done better, and that's it. You know, but that's all part of learning. It's all part of gaining experience. But, you know, there's no regrets. You know, we just got to keep looking forward, man. And, you know, I always get shown love everywhere I go, you know, because
it's
people
quite fun, isn't it? Like, when you come to a show, you get absolutely mobbed with love. And then you turn on social media, Twitter, and it's like, you know.
No, I know, but no one would ever say anything to my face. You know, but it is what it is. It's the minority. You know, people on social media are people on social media for a reason. And that's it. You're always going to get it. Like, my dad gets you know, negative comments on social media. Not once in my whole 28 years have I ever seen anyone say anything to my dad. 28. 26 years say anything to my dad where, in person, where, you know, it's been offensive. But, you know, trolls are trolls and they're there for a reason.
Why do you think that you see all these other fighters now failing drugs tests? And from the moment that gets announced, I've not really heard one thing from the media, one thing from promoters, yet you have been talked about every day for over a year. I sometimes wonder, is it my fault? Do you know what I mean? But it is unbelievable. And I've seen like high profile people test positive recently. It's not even been mentioned.
Do you know what?
Once.
I don't know what it is. But the reality is you can't say there's not an agenda. You can't say there isn't. You know, when there's been other fighters in the past who now they call the greats of all times who've only just recently failed tests. You know, there's been other heavyweights who have failed tests that were allowed to fight. There's been other, you know, so when you look here, you sort of go, wow, what's going on here? And the agenda keeps getting pushed, it keeps getting spoken about. Could it be because I'm one of the hottest prospects in the UK? Could it be because I'm Nigel Benn's son? Could it be that I'm signed to one of the biggest promotional companies in the world? Could it be that the rise was too great The rise was too good to be true. You know, so there's so many different factors, but at the end of the day, I can't let that stump me.
Do you laugh now when people say, "Oh, Corey was improving quickly, wasn't he? You know, must have been this, must have been that." Or he started knocking people out, you know.
No, but the thing is, they never would have said anything before. Yeah. There would have been no praise before.
But by the way, when you were knocking people out, no one was even saying, "Wow, look at him now."
No, I know.
Because before this, you were a hype job.
And he was old, or he was past it, or he was this, or he was that. There will always be people saying something, you know, and I've begun to realise that. So I'm just going to keep going in there, bowling them over, getting paid, and climbing my way up the world rankings. And that's all that matters. You know, all that matters for me is my family, my son, you know, my missus, my family in Australia. That's all that matters. You know, and you know, the genuine fans who paid to come and watch me fight, you know, have supported me throughout this whole process. That's all that matters.
The next fight, God willing, Saturday goes well.
Yeah.
You make it clear you want Eubank. I mean,
Chris
I know we
Eubank,
talk about Brook and we talk about Taylor and we talk about
Eubank.
Barrios.
Eubank gets smashed to pieces. He gets absolutely smashed. Like
do you feel like you're the favourite now again? I mean, because I think when you went into the first fight, you were an underdog in most people's mind because of the weight. Now you're prepared to not even do a catch weight, to go up to 160, but he does come off a win against Liam Smith. And I feel like after he got stopped by Smith, you become the favourite, but now all of a sudden he beats a Liam Smith that, let's be honest, weren't really up at the races. Does he go back to the, I mean, but you sound so confident about that fight, you know, boxing a big middleweight, and like you say, taking him out inside a couple of rounds.
Mate, he's terrible. He's absolutely terrible. It's just as bad as his fashion sense. He's absolutely terrible. That's it, period. You know, so, yeah, I'll blow him out there, no problem. I look at him and there's nothing special. Smith made him look the best he possibly could, and he still didn't look good. Smith made him look the best he could possibly look, and still didn't look good. You tell me now, if someone's throwing 33 punches in 10 rounds at me, what happens? What, 33 punches. I throw that in a round. And he still couldn't get him out of there.
Do you stop him?
Would I stop who?
Eubank.
It's brutal. Come get your last paycheck. Come get your last paycheck.
Do you think?
That's how I feel.
You know, in the first fight, like even when you two come together, like I know you weren't a fan of his, but it wasn't like, it's mad now how that fight has the hatred. Whereas before, listen, as a promoter, it's like, you know, the hatred of the families and stuff like that. Now, from everything he said, and will continue to say, is it a little bit different now?
Oh, it's very different. What, you think you can lie about the truth? Lie that I didn't tell you and you weren't aware of the test. Lie and try and blackmail me for £1 million. All of that. What, you think this ain't personal now? And you can rub salt in my wounds. You think this ain't personal now? Wait till I come for his head. And then wait till I come for his head. And then what's he gonna do?
So you say no pressure to look good on Saturday. We're talking about one of the biggest fights in the history of British boxing presenting itself.
Don't put this pressure on me now.
No, but you're saying there is no pressure.
Do you want me to? No, but the way you're talking now, I'm feeling a little.
I think you're gonna feel. Listen, that's why I'm glad you're having this fight. You weren't bothered about a warm-up fight.
I don't need a warm-up.
No, but Tony says you got to make that ring walk. You got to feel that pressure. You've been through a lot in the last 12, 18 months.
There's not more pressure I could feel than having to go on and doing a Piers Morgan interview. You know, so for me, this is no pressure. I'm gonna go out there, do what I do, and if there is any pressure, pressure makes diamonds. And all the pressure I've had to have my whole career is put me in good stead for now. And you know, I've always risen to the occasion. So let's go get this win Saturday, and then secure the fight the country wants to, the whole world even wants to see. In December.
Well, Orozco, then we'll deal with Eubank.
Let's go.